Hi, I'm Sammy from PillowTalk, and I'm here to do my miniDOC. So, the beginning of PillowTalk, we were all living in the same kind of neighborhood, Western Addition, Lower Haight, and my friend Ryan Williams, who became part of PillowTalk, was him and his brother Davey were having many after parties at their house, and Davey had an apartment upstairs and Ryan had the apartment downstairs, and I was doing a techno party called Control. We would always have our after parties over at their house, and sometimes it would get a little too crazy upstairs at Davey's, so we'd go down to Ryan's, and Ryan had a grand piano, and he played piano, was really gifted multi-instrumentalist, and we would just start kind of writing songs on the piano. I lived a few blocks away, and I had a music studio in my building. I lived in the back of the building, and I was renting the music studio out, and then my other friend, Michael Tello, who also became part of PillowTalk, is a really talented engineer. And so we kind of just were starting to write these songs, and we all met up in my studio and started to just kind of fiddle with the ideas that we had. And that's kind of how the idea was born to create PillowTalk and to kind of start writing music and writing lyrics and melodies. That happened that summer. 2011. I thought it was 10, but it probably was 11. So yeah, we had a really good, or we do. We haven't been in the studio lately just because we're so separated right now, but when we do get in the studio, we have a really good system of how we work and how we take on workloads. So, we usually start writing melodies first, and we usually are on the piano. We start from scratch, we just kind of come up with the melody. And Mikey sequences drums from that. I start writing lyrics, or Ryan starts writing lyrics. And we kind of organically build it from the ground up, but we all have our own different kind of jobs in the band. I'm definitely less technical when it comes to the studio production. I'm more of writing lyrics and having an understanding of more of song structure. So I kind of lends to the development of the song. Mikey's really into the technical aspect of sequencing and pretty much driving the bus. And Ryan is just an all-around great ear for music, and he's good at harmonies and melodies. And together we are a really great team. So yeah, that's how that worked. never physically or consciously, I would say, consciously, have never wanted to just say, oh, we want to go put it out on this label. It's always happened organically through connections, through friends, or through just through knowing people in the industry, working with people in the studio, and just I think being around other people who have labels. I mean, before we even started PillowTalk, Mikey and I were really deep into throwing events and DJing for many years. We were DJs for about 20 years before we even started PillowTalk, and we were throwing our own events. So we already were booking, many people from all over the world to come play our parties in San Francisco. We were becoming friends with a lot of these artists from all over the world. So I kind of had friendships created. So when we did start making our music, we kind of already we could play it for a friend, and they would be like, oh, I want to put it out on my label. It's how it happened we were good friends with Greg and Omar from Thugfucker, and they introduced us to Manfredi. They had just started a new label called Life and Death. And Greg was hearing our stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, we have a new label, let's give it to Manfredi and see if they want to put it out. So they put it out. We put out music on Vision Quest, and I had been booking Seth Troxler at my control party, and we'd become friends through that. And when I put out some music with him, I just was really easy to say, hey Seth, there's some music we're working on. They just started Vision Quest at the time. And then also with the Wolf and Lamb record label, one of my partners that I was throwing control with, Alon Biello, rest in peace, he just passed away, but Alon played the Wolf and Lamb party in New York back in 2009 or 10, and I met Gotti and Zev in New York and stayed in contact with them, and they started Wolf and Lamb Records around the same time. And so we were putting out a lot of music in the beginning. We were in the studio every day pumping out songs, and we had a whole catalog of music that we just didn't know what to do with it, but we were playing it for friends who happened to be starting music labels. So it was like, oh hey Sammy, I heard your track. Dude, I really want to put this out. Let's talk about it. So it just happened like that, organically. I think remixes can, they can go one way or the other. Like you can really not have a lot of creative input in it and make it a really cookie cutter remix and just kind of change the beat or change a little something, and it doesn't really sound a lot different from the original composition. But we always want to be unique and creative, so we would try to just kind of create a whole new song based on like a snippet or a hook, either like from the original track. So we try to approach them as creating a remix that's somewhat recognizable but completely different. Whether we change the beat structure or we change, the tempo. Definitely coming from a DJ side of things before we even started making music and DJing new remixes. You come up with a good ear of what a good remix should sound like just from playing records. So we would use that experience of having played remixes and DJed of what a good remix should sound like, or what kind of effort you should put into. You can usually tell a good remix by like the creativity and the effort that's put into it.
Now
first, if you're performing live for the first time and you're just getting comfortable on stage, you don't know anything yet, so you're just out there playing your songs. And you get booked in different settings, different events. Maybe you play a festival for 5,000 people, the next weekend you're playing in a club for 300 people. So there's a lot of different variables that can go into play when you're trying to learn from your process of playing live. Once you get a couple tours under your belt and you play for some different clubs, different festivals, different shows, different auditoriums, different whatever, when you go back in the studio and create again, you have all those experiences of, what worked, what didn't work, what did the crowd respond to in different settings, so you can kind of tighten up your ideas in your writing. You can create songs that are more focused on working in those situations. So I think it takes some practice to perform live and just to get over the hump. And once you get comfortable performing live, then you can start to create songs that work better in that environment. Sometimes you're lucky and you make something that you've never played live and everyone loves it and it's great. But that doesn't happen a lot, so it's very rare that happens. This quality about a lot of the songs we made is because we all three come from different musical backgrounds, so to speak. We all have different influences, and one thing about us, and I'm sure it goes for a lot of people that especially are into electronic music or DJ electronic music, I would say generally they don't listen to electronic music on their downtime. They just do it because they usually play it out because it's their job and their work. But when I come home from the club, I'm not listening to dance music or electronic music. And so I think we have all these influences from jazz, from soul, and from hip hop. And Mikey has a huge Latin culture of his growing up in his house. His dad influenced him. My dad influenced me. My dad was a doo-wop singer, in the 50s, so I'm influenced by that. Ryan's really into indie rock, and he was really influenced by psychedelic rocks. I love Motown and soul. And hip hop, so we tend to listen to all these different ranges of music just on our downtime at home, but we make electronic music, so I think that gave us a good melting pot of ideas to pull from and try to create our own sound from our own influences from different genres of music. That's kind of how that all happened. Obviously, our music has been very kind of genre blending. We haven't focused too much on one style. We try to try to destroy all genres or blend around the term of electronic music in different kind of areas. So our music tends to be more listenable at home, or at the beach or in your car while you're driving. It's not really super club heavy music. We get booked to play a lot of daytime beach parties. We play more in the summertime than we do in the winter times because our music is more mellow and more, I guess, caters to more of a outdoor feel. I think that kind of happened because we're also all from California, and so we're surrounded by that type of weather all year. But our hope is that people just sit back and enjoy, and it can take some time out of their day to take their mind off whatever problems or stress they might have in the world, and they can sit back and just listen to our music and it'll be something that's inspirational or something that's calming. That's the hope for it, at least. I have an album coming out, hopefully in 24, with another partner of mine, Navid Azadi, who passed away also a few years ago. Hopefully trying to get this nickel and dime project finally put it on wax is the plan. So we have music coming out on our own, but we also plan to get in the studio and write some new music and hopefully start, booking some tours for next summer and next year. Right now we're so separated from so many miles. Brian's in San Francisco, Mikey's in New York, I'm in Brazil. So the idea is to get to New York, all of us, and write a new album. That's the plan for 24. So expect cool things coming, hopefully, from the PillowTalk camp next year. Thank you guys for spending some time with me today for my miniDOC. This is Sammy D from PillowTalk Music. You can check us out at PillowTalk Music is our handle on Instagram, and you can check me out at Sammy D PillowTalk Singer on Instagram. We look forward to next year having some new music out and keeping up with this music lifestyle that is getting so much more difficult as you get older. So the bones are getting a little creakier.